Point, President Biden's announcement tomorrow on canceling some student loan debt will be fundamentally unfair to just about everybody. Tomorrow, he's expected to announce the cancellation of $10,000 of student loan debt for anybody currently making under $125,000 a year. There are some serious constitutional questions as to whether he can actually do this. Remember, the money is owed by people to the federal government. We, the taxpayers, will have to pick up the tab, but let's assume that this announcement by President Biden happens tomorrow and that he can actually do it. Now think about if you were someone who never took out student loans. Perhaps you worked your way through college to avoid loans. Do you get $10,000? If you already paid your loans off, you get nothing under the president's plan. Do you deserve $10,000? If you scrimped and saved and pinched the past 2 years during the pandemic loan freeze and paid down your loans, well, then under this plan, you're the sucker. What if your parents took out a second mortgage to pay your way through college? Then they're the suckers. You get nothing unless you have $10,000 or more in student debt. What about plumbers or electricians who have loans on tools? They didn't take out loans to go to school, but they need those tools. They don't get anything. At least in theory, the American system is supposed to be fundamentally fair. But this is anything but fair. Sure, there are some spectacularly dumb takes about this, like from Nina Turner, the former Ohio State Senator. She tweeted, FYI, student debt cancellation isn't paid for by the taxpayer. The federal government is the lender. Yeah, she actually tweeted that. So we are all on the same page. We are the federal government. That's the whole point of America. The taxpayers are owed that money. It is taxpayer money. That's just a fact. It is not opinion. It is not up for debate. What's worse is that Nina Turner is also a former community college professor. So there are people out there with student debt that paid for an education taught by a professor that has zero understanding of how student debt or economics or the American system works. Talk about unfair to them. They definitely deserve a refund. Back to student debt and Nina's hot takes. $10,000 in student debt cancellation is a PR move that benefits loan refinancing companies. Unfortunately for POTUS, you can't PR your way out of a crisis that impacts 45 million Americans. Nina wants to cancel all the debt. She is on to something here. Canceling all the debt is what President Biden promised to do. From his campaign website, forgive all undergraduate tuition-related federal student debt from 2- and 4-year public colleges and universities and private HBCUs, that's historically black colleges and universities, and MSIs for debt holders earning up to $125,000. That's not really fair either. And somehow canceling debt for private black colleges is okay, but normal private colleges, well, no help there. In a word, that would be racist, but I digress. It's fair to say the president is in a political pickle here. Look at who holds student debt. The vast majority are those under 35 who owe less than $40,000. And in fairness, student debt is different than any other kind of debt. It's different than your credit card debt, your car loan, your mortgage. It is the only thing that doesn't go away during bankruptcy. Of course, the government told 18-year-olds that when they signed up. But here in America, we did away with debtors' prisons back in the 1800s. So what would really be fair here? Forget about the politics. We know the president can't do what we're proposing politically. He's getting raked over the coals for only forgiving $10,000 a person. But what if he said, fine, you owe everything. I'm not going to cancel anything. Again, the Constitution is sort of murky on whether he can cancel anything at all. But let's just say he said student debt is like all other debt. It goes away in bankruptcy. That would be a big change. And while he's at it, what if he decided to tax the endowments of America's richest colleges? Harvard University sits at $42 billion, Yale $31.2 billion, University of Michigan $12.3 billion. Those are all given tax-free, and those endowments grow tax-free. What if you use the taxes on the endowments to pay down the debt of the students that went there to get ridiculous degrees? Bankruptcy protection in exchange for endowment. That could be fair. there are a lot of options, absolutely none of which President Biden will consider. As Nina Turner said, tomorrow is a PR stunt. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.